You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good day and welcome to the Mushie Moment for Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Boy, this month is almost done already, and it just seems like last podcast we were saying, hey, and the month is beginning.
Crazy. Yeah, April's almost over.
Wow. And where are you going to find yourself in May?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam it, you're going there?
I am. I decided I wanted to go. I mean, I've wanted to go since I was like 15 years old, of course, being cannabis enthusiast since that age. And, I was going to go aim for the end of the month. I decided probably about a week ago that I was heading. I was going to aim for the end of the month. And then somebody mentioned that it was Tulip Festival season in Amsterdam. And if you're going to be, a tourist, this is the best time to go. Things are open. Things are wonderful. So I said, okay. And I up and bought a ticket and said, oh, frigwood, why not? So I'm leaving tomorrow.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's and you're going to be there for the Tulip Festival.
I'm going for the Tulip Festival. Yep.
Wow. Okay. So just go online and learn how to not get robbed in Amsterdam and learn all of the ways to not get robbed in Amsterdam.
I've actually been chatting with a lot of people that travel Europe on a regular. And they said, if you're going to be a woman traveling alone to Europe, the best place to go at the best time of year to go is Amsterdam during tulip season. Ah,
well, look at that. The universe has your back yet once again.
Yes. Yeah. So it's, from a couple of tourist agents I know, and then a number of people that just travel. That's what they all say, right? If you're going to go and go alone, you're going the perfect time to the perfect spot. I think you're freezing, though. Yeah, you're freezing, Steve. We can hear you, though.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. And you're sort of moving there.
Oh, okay. It just kind of goes all glitchy on me. It's like, yeah, well, this kind of, if it does it too much, let me know and I'll just switch over and get into the phone.
Oh, yeah. I think we're okay, though. As long as we can hear you, we're good.
So I'm assuming you're not very excited about leaving tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Yeah. You got your bags packed already?
Not yet, but that won't take very long. I'm heading to Amsterdam. It's like 25 degrees over there. A couple of sundresses and I'm good.
Yeah, that's all I ever take. A couple of sundresses.
A couple of sundresses.
Hey, I heard we had some guests.
We do. You ran off last week and found a couple of people that, we really should have had on long before this. I mean, I've known of Chris for quite some time now.
And you've just waited for me to discover him?
Oh, no, we've chatted about Chris before. We talked about Kambo practitioners up across Canada when we went for Kambo 2 years ago.
You expect me to remember that far back?
No. I'm actually surprised I did. But yeah, no, when we were chatting about Kambo practitioners, he was one of the people that we talked about. Magdalena, I can't remember the other lady's name there in Vancouver, Rama, Chris and Ashley.
Ah.
Yeah.
So now I actually get to meet him.
Now you actually get to meet the man. We've already met. We've been chatting ahead of time, but yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to blow that for me. That was like a big build-up. You know, like just fizzle. No, just kidding. But it is time. So we should bring them on. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome to the podcast, Chris Jordan and his partner, Sarah, from HealingSpiritsCambo.com. Good day.
Hello.
Hi. You're just so hyper, Steve, and they come on, they're just so chill.
Oh.
Welcome to the podcast. If I heard correctly, you guys are coming to hang out with us the day after ceremony.
Yeah, 2 days after, we just spent a few days with grandmother ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aya isn't a medicine I've met yet. Yeah, I jumped right for Iboga when I came in. So
yeah, I highly recommend it. We sit on a pretty regular basis, actually, probably 3-4 times a year. Yeah.
amazing.
And do you just do a one-night session, or is it a couple-night session, or how does it go? What would be the intricacy of this type of ceremony that you go to?
Well, I wouldn't recommend anybody just going to sit with ayahuasca one night. We usually sit 3 nights or 4 nights in a row. The thing about sitting with it one night is ayahuasca is so powerful. And especially for people that are brand new, it can bring a lot of stuff to the surface. Things that you can work out, in the next couple days of sitting in ceremony. So, yeah, and some people might have different opinions on this, but sometimes, when we're working with powerful entheogens, because it can bring some things to the surface, if we leave after just one night and things are up there, then we can leave in a worse place than we showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, that integration and sharing afterwards, and having people that have experienced that type of opening to share and exchange with, and sort through some of the data, because that's a lot of stuff you go through in the course of an evening.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's a process. Yeah, it's definitely a process.
I find a lot of them are like, I know that you serve Kambo, which is really what brought you onto our radar in the first place a few years ago. But Kambo is a very similar type medicine. Like I've gone and had like one sitting with Kambo, and it's been very powerful. But the ones that I have walked away from feeling like I've really worked and I've really cleaned myself out and I've gone through so much healing are the trifecta. You do I've gone for the Kambo 3 days in a row. And then leaving that and taking a couple of days off, and then going to sit with 5 has been a very profound healing way for me. I don't know about...
Yeah, we also work with 5 as well. It's good to get a nice cleanse out, before sitting with such a powerful medicine. So they really do work quite beautifully together.
Mm.
Yeah.
You got to hit him with the regular question we usually use, though.
Oh, I was leaving it up to you, but that's okay. Chris, what brought you to working with this medicine? I know that I don't know much about you, Sarah. I've been seeing a little bit coming through Chris's feed, of course. I've been following Chris for a few years, though. But what brought you guys? What brought you to working with this medicine? I mean, what's your story?
Well, I'll let Sarah take this one first.
I mean, you know, first we're brought to building a relationship with it, sitting with it for our own personal reasons. For me, my background is health, fitness, wellness. So I kind of came from a place of, you know, really believing I had everything lined up. You know, a good foundation in fitness, taking care of my health that way, nutrition. But I continue to find myself coming to places of burnout and kind of looping through these cycles, and eventually realizing that, you know, I was really missing a big pillar in relation to health, which was, of course, you know, spiritual connection, digging deeper into my own patterns and different things that were limiting me. And so Kambo was the catalyst for me to really get into those different aspects and start to bring what I viewed as, you know, a picture of health span, overall wellness, into more of a complete system. So yeah, I started sitting with a medicine around like 2017, and the first 4 days that I did, I just absolutely fell in love with it and was fascinated, wanted to keep going back, keep building that relationship. Yeah, and it just kind of expanded from there to a place where, you know, I wanted to learn how to serve myself the medicine, and then eventually went on to becoming a practitioner as well.
And for me, it was years and years of disconnection and addiction. Back in 2015, I was introduced to cannabis as medicine, as you know, from a really good friend of mine, Pat Warnicki. He had a dispensary in Regina called Best Bud Society. And I was working at the steel plant in Regina and just disconnected, you know, working away. And then on my days off, it would be cocaine and alcohol, you know, going back to work. And it was kind of interesting. So I have a son that is low functioning autistic with a seizure disorder. And I put a post out online, and Patrick actually reached out to me and asked me to come down to the dispensary to talk about my son. And so I went down to the dispensary to talk about my son, and he gave me an education as Pat does. And yeah, I felt so strongly called to a different approach. And at that time I was on 6 different pharmaceuticals. And so I used cannabis as a harm reduction purpose, you know, to widen the gaps between me using cocaine, and to help get off of the pharmaceuticals I was on. And so I went on a mission, you know, just to get myself better and move past the hard drugs. And again, like I said, did it stop me immediately? You know, the cannabis just really was a harm reduction tool, but I'd go back from time to time, you know. But Patrick, with his education he gave to me, it just brought more awareness on plant medicines. And so I started working at the cannabis dispensary. I took a course on how to consult with people on using cannabis as medicine. And so that led me to Kambo, just through the community of people. You know, I'd be going to Vancouver with Pat for various conferences, and we ended up at the Plant Spirit Medicine Conference in Vancouver. I met Rama, who you mentioned earlier, and she became one of the most important people in my life, in terms of helping me navigate through some of my toxic ways and toxic thinking and different family patterns, and you know, the resentment and guilt and shame and all of these things. And so I started heading up to Vancouver quite often to sit with her with Kambo 3 days in a row, always. And every time I leveled up. And you know, eventually through this process, I quit going back to the drugs and alcohol. And yeah, so I worked with the medicine for quite a long time before I felt I received a calling to work with Kambo. And I didn't answer that call at that time because I knew I still needed more work to be able to show up in an authentic way. So I still continued sitting with her for, another year. And eventually, as I cleared, created space and cleared some things out of my vessel, that calling became stronger. And so I wanted to work with the medicine in traditional ways. That was the calling. That was the strongest calling. Most of the Kambo practitioners in North America have adopted, we'll call it a Western way of doing it, where they've taken the tradition out of it. To me, I felt it was important to honor the keepers of this medicine and work with it as they do. And so I journeyed down to Mexico, and a practitioner, a master Kambo practitioner, and a guy who also owned a ayahuasca retreat center in the jungle, met me and another girl from Toronto down there, and we went through it and did our first Kambo training. And then he immediately invited me to go to the jungle. So 6 months later, I went to the jungle to advance my training. And at that time, I was able to do an initiation ceremony with the Matse tribe, who are the founders of this medicine.
Wow.
Yeah. Now here I am.
I'll interject for a minute too, because this is kind of interesting. But Rama was also really profound and as well. And it's kind of interesting because we started sitting with the medicine about the same time.
Yeah.
And we would be seeing the same practitioner, Rama, and I don't know, we would just bypass each other and miss each other, and we never did end up meeting until after we'd both gone through trainings and all that stuff. So kind of interesting that we crossed paths, never met each other until much later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Well, that's quite a story. Like we have, I resonated with your story, Chris, like with your life and your history. I share not identical, but very similar past of addiction, same drugs, pharmaceuticals. So you really touched my heart with that. I'm really happy that you found your way out. I think that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thanks, Cindy.
Yeah. Always giving hope. That's the, a spark of hope is always needed, and people getting out is always a spark of hope. That's beautiful, brother.
Yeah.
A very, very beautiful sentiment earlier today. It was online, but it was, what did it say? It said, nobody ever regretted getting sober.
Yeah. I don't think anybody,
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt with that, but yeah, it's,
and sober is one thing, right? Like, but the true opposite of addictions is connection, right? Yep. Sobriety is abstinent, and many people that are in that place of sobriety and they're in the group meetings, the NA, the AA, they're still in cycles and still have a lot of those addictive thinking patterns. Or, I guess for people that struggle with alcohol, they call it a dry drunk, where they still have those behaviors surrounding the substance, although they're not using the substance. Yeah. So once this is really where plant medicines, Kambo, Ayahuasca, Iboga, they have helped me connect, to my heart. And the essence of who I truly was supposed to be when I came into this world. Looks like Steve's frozen again there.
I just sent him a message saying that he should switch to his phone.
Okay.
He can hear us and we can hear him, but yeah, I think you should switch to your phone. You've got You're mid-word and your mouth is wide open on the screen.
That's a great still shot, actually, though. Kind of like.
Oh, hang on. Oh, and I came.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
That's
Oh,
better.
Oh, close this one. Hang on. Sorry.
There. That's better.
Well,
Okay.
you know, as an audio guy, I was always known for my feedback. Well, hopefully that'll be a little bit smoother there. Sorry about that.
Never be sorry.
Wow. Where are we at? Okay, so now I can ask this really cool question of what you stepped into Kambo, and then what was the entheogen pathway from Kambo?
Well, after Kambo, 5-MeO DMT. Yeah. 5-MeO DMT, powerful.
Very.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've come through the addiction aspect. You're stepping into plant medicine, entheogen stuff. You've had the separation, which is, you know, the opposite of connection is the addiction aspect. You step into 5-MeO. What happens?
Well, a deeper connection to my heart space, you know, and some other actually profound experiences. And, you know, one I'd like to share, you know, these medicines have a way of working things out for us, not just our internal being, but externally as well. And I'll give you an example. So a few years back, I sat with 5-MeO. This was in Cold Lake, Alberta. I was there doing a Kambo retreat. And in the evening, myself and the practitioner that was helping me, we journeyed with some 5-MeO. And you know, as you guys know, it's one of the most powerful substances out there. So in this situation with the medicine, my ceremony was a lot about forgiveness. You know, I think in the 3D realm, a lot of people use that word forgiveness so loosely, and they say it, but they still carry the resentment. You know, they still carry the guilt and the shame. And so I have two kids that live in Terrace, BC, that at that point in time, I haven't seen or talked to in about 12 years. You know, they were one of the, I'll use the word casualties of my addiction issues that I used to struggle with.
Collateral damage.
Yeah, collateral damage for sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, I embarked on this journey with 5, and you know, immediately upon exhale, you know, the tears just started flowing. And you know, I gained a deeper understanding in this ceremony of the pain and the suffering in the world. And that, you know, pain and suffering, people that are in that cause pain and suffering to other people. And you know, I was able to forgive myself. I was able to forgive anybody that has ever harmed me. I was able to forgive my dad. I was able to forgive my children's mother for the struggles, you know, that we had. And I just let it all out, you know, and through this process of deeper understanding and forgiveness, something profound happened about a half an hour after I finished this ceremony with 5-MeO. I looked at my phone and my Instagram, and I had a message from my daughter who I hadn't talked to or seen in 12 years. And it simply said, "I think about you every day." And yeah, that connected us again. Yeah. So, the spirits in these medicine definitely can help align things for us outside of our vessel as well.
Yes, I have to agree. I have to agree. It, when you break everything down, it's all about energy, and it's about positive or negative energy in this dimension of duality, and which of the flows are you going to put yourself in to flow with. And, when we take ourselves out of that trauma, beating up our own selves and not loving ourselves flow, and put us into that flow of, that unconditional love that the medicine just kind of lets you know truly exists, and that everything exists from it. And it just changes lives, eh?
100%, man. 100%.
That's a beautiful story. It actually brought a tear to my eye. That was a beautiful story.
Yeah, it was a pretty profound experience for me. I obviously have a list of profound experiences through all my experiences with plant medicines over the last, 8 years. But yeah, that one definitely stands out as, one of the most amazing experiences that I had that I never thought was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the magic.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's the magic. You're thinking it's not going to happen, and it just kind of appears.
Mm-hmm.
Tap, tap, I'm here.
Yeah. It's just that piece of surrendering and trusting the process of life, as opposed to constantly resisting it. When we resist things in life, there's suffering involved.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to go against the current.
Oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. I got more questions, but I knew she was just about to point at the time. We've got to go for that halfway time break. We're a couple minutes early, but it's probably a good time to do it. We're going to take a sponsor break. You guys hang out, check out the sponsors, check out what's going on, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Do you have time
You're
to go
listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Camelford Lifestyle Shop, open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Camelford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Camelford, Ontario.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop, Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Good day. And we're back.
Steve, was that you singing that song there?
No, but you know.
Yes,
Which
it was.
The Awesome Day one? Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of figured that was your voice. Are you a musician?
An audio guy.
Oh, nice.
But I play around, yeah.
So you're a musician. You're just downplaying it here. I see it. I see you.
He thinks he's hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a great job of hiding.
Yeah, you can't hide from us, man.
He thinks he's hiding, so he runs off and does he's in documentaries, but he's hiding.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, you don't want to get too exposed. You never know what can happen. You might end up on a podcast or in a documentary or something.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'd like to, it's okay. As a person that came out of addiction and utilizing this, not to focus on the addiction thing, but as a person that came out and utilized plant medicine into entheogens, if you were putting a pathway together for people to follow along and walk out, because of course it takes a person to do the work themselves to get themselves out. People supply tools and information, but healing is only done by the body of the person themselves in the body. So if you were to lay out a little bit of a pathway, what would be kind of the pathway that you would lay out?
I feel like it's so personal, to be honest with you. I was more drawn to Aya originally, and my path got navigated to Kambo, and I'm really grateful for that. I think depending upon person to person, what you've experienced in life, that was a really nice entry point because it's not psychoactive. So for a lot of people, that can be less intimidating, I think, initially. So it kind of gives you the ability to start working on yourself, working on your energetics, maybe finding a bit of a deeper spiritual connection before going into a medicine like ayahuasca. And they work synergistically together. They pair really nice together. And in that format too, utilizing Kambo to cleanse the body, maybe bring out some awareness, strengthen intentions, so that when you do go to ayahuasca ceremonies, you're a little bit further prepared, a little bit more cleansed, opened up, stronger intentions. I think. Yeah.
My thinking too. I immediately say Kambo. And the reason why is a lot of people in our society have a fear of psychedelics. They fear the altered state of consciousness. I get this all the time. With Kambo, there's not an altered state of consciousness, right? So we connect on a deeper level to ourselves. And then with Kambo, it's a good place, especially if you sit with it 3 times. You would know this, Cindy. You know that it's a process, right? You go a little bit deeper each day, a little bit more medicine each day, right? So, with Kambo's ability to unblock things and create clarity, it can definitely help us, like Sarah alluded to, with our intentions of going into some more some psychedelic substances. The most important thing when we're embarking on a journey with any medicine is having a crystal clear intention. And so a lot of the times people will jump right into ayahuasca, jump right into iboga, high doses of mushrooms, for those that don't have a fear of the altered state of consciousness. But they're not necessarily totally clear on their intentions. They might come in with some surface level intentions. I got this going on and that going on and this going on. But they don't know the root cause of it, right? Once we can establish what the root is, then you can have a more profound ceremony if you're going to sit with heavier entheogens. So, yeah, another route to go that I would say would also assist is microdosing mushrooms as well, for those people that don't want the powerful experience and then may have a fear of Kambo because whatever they read online. It's definitely a good place to start as well. Yeah. And again, like Sarah alluded to, it's also personal as well, right? For me, my start was cannabis.
Yeah, we've got a cannabis substitution program running in Vancouver down here that helps the opioid addiction community, the crisis community out there with entry barrier and low income cannabis to get started.
Yeah. I knew Neil quite well, actually, who started that project. Rest in peace. The guy had the biggest heart, and I'm certainly glad to see it still going and helping people, because it's very important. And I know that group has been through a lot, and I just admire their fight in this journey. Fighting past these limits that are set to us by our governments and so on, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So like I said, I mean, we know each other on Facebook, and I've been watching your journey, and I've noticed in the past little while that you have been talking about creating some education of your own and helping people learn the art of self-serving Kambo right now.
Yeah, so Sarah and I have created a Kambo Practitioner program. But it's going to start with self-dosing. So it's important to have a deep relationship with the medicine before become a practitioner. So again, there's a prerequisite to even join the self-dose program. You've had to have sat with Kambo a certain number of times prior. Safety is always the most important thing, and I wouldn't want anybody self-dosing on their own with their first time receiving the medicine. So yeah, we've been working hard on creating that program, and the self-dose one is actually finished. We have our first group is May 9th, 10th, and 11th coming up here. It's an online course, so it's going to be 2 days of online classroom work, I'll call it. And then the third day, they'll do the self-dose with a sitter. You always have to have a sitter when you're self-dosing. Again, as safety is the most important factor. And then, and then we'll get to see their videos of them self-dosing and sort of grade them and let them know if they're good to continue. and then after that, anybody that takes the self-dose course, once they create a deeper relationship with the medicine, if they feel called to, being a practitioner, we would definitely have an interview with them to make sure it's right for them before they, join the course. So the practitioner course will probably have one either later on this year or earlier next year. We'll get a couple of the self-dose courses out of the way first.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I did my last training in the Amazon jungle, there was a strong calling by the spirit of Kambo and the other plant spirits in the Amazon jungle is to spread this medicine.
Yeah.
To spread this medicine as much as I can. And that's why I share so openly about my journey and my struggles and my challenges, as well as my growth with using medicines, Kambo specifically, as a catalyst.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, because it's just in a world where there's lots of crisis, it's nice to have glimmers of hope, and glimmers of hope is, all it requires is somebody in the darkness to see that glimmer of hope and go, oh, I need to walk this way.
Yeah. And I can tell you, like, from my own journey, everybody can change, at one time in my life, and I'm just going to use this term, I was fucked up, so toxic actions, toxic thinking, and I had no awareness around what my own toxicity was even. And that's where, someone like Rama definitely helped me in my process. And then the ayahuasca and the medicine just helped me keep growing.
Yeah, it's interesting because that toxicity that you're talking about, in your life, it's just your normal. You grow up in a normal toxic environment. That toxicity is normal. You're in that environment. For somebody to, for you to actually learn, oh, that's toxic behavior. That's toxic behavior. That's toxic behavior. And then you learn where a lot of the toxic behavior came from, and a lot of it's shields you put in place, trying to keep yourself safe, and you're just burying yourself under more crap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think one thing to consider too is, like, Chris has a story of obvious addiction and coming through that, finding recovery. But the truth is that we all face addiction, and we're all sitting in some form of addiction. It's just certain things are easier to manage, and certain things spiral our lives at a much faster pace. But the truth is, whether it be social media, foods, things that we call foods, all kinds of things are addictions. And all of these addictions, which are creating a disconnect for us, are also creating limitations in our lives. And, so I feel like sometimes people are looking at these medicines and going, well, I don't have heart addiction. Do I really need to work with this? And the truth is that, for the mass majority, these medicines are for everybody. And there's, plenty of reasons why we could benefit from them as well. Just because looking at addiction in a different way or from a different perspective, if that makes sense.
Yes, because addiction is a symptom of an issue. Mm-hmm. So it's really getting to the deeper issues, so the reason for addiction no longer exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was talking about toxicity, and like you mentioned, people grow up in these environments and they don't even realize it's toxic, right? The medicine helps us expand our consciousness and create a deeper level of self-awareness, and then we can find our own toxic behaviors and even find the root of these things, you know, which is 9 times out of 10 something that our parents passed on to us, that their parents passed on to them, the parents passed on to them, right? We go 7 generations back. And there's usually one individual in every family that is chosen to shift that for the family. And I'm, you know, someone that's done that for my family. You know, as I've changed, they have changed. And they haven't, you know, sat with the medicine like I have. You know, my dad sat with Kambo and he's had high doses of mushrooms and things like that. Nobody else has, though. But everything is shifted, and it's because I started this journey. You know, the black sheep, right? Bah.
But, you know, leading by example, that's what makes things change, is leading by example.
Yeah, we have no control over others. Zero, right? The best thing that we have is influence. And by doing our own inner work, you know, that can influence others to start changing and doing their own inner work, whatever that looks like for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if a person wanted to get a hold of you guys to experience your wonderful medicine, what would they do?
Well, you see that thing scrolling at the bottom of the screen that you guys just popped up there. That's our website. We can also be contacted at 306-690-FROG. So 306-690-3764. Yeah, 690-FROG. And then social media as well, Healing Spirits Kambo on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Frog. I love that you have that for your friggin' 4 numbers. That's amazing.
Well, Cindy, get this. When I was in the cannabis industry, my number was 570 weed.
Yeah.
Well, you just
I need to get Toad for mine.
Yeah.
I love
Which one?
Toad.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. You can do it. You know, you just call all I did was, you know, when I was living in Saskatchewan, I just called SaskTel, the provider, and I told them what I wanted. And so then they looked in all the different cities, you know, where they can give me the what do you call it, the prefix, the 3 numbers. And yeah, it just happened to be Frog was available in Moose Jaw of all places. So I keep 690 Frog, got a Moose Jaw.
Nice.
Ooh, hang on.
Oh, no, we get planes going over him again.
He definitely wins.
Yeah, he definitely wins this one. We haven't had a single one go over yet.
There's 2 landing strips there at Richmond, and one of them is apparently closed for maintenance. So now all of them are going over, Steve, as well as the snowbirds are there practicing. So there's extra from the snowbirds. Yeah. So he's really in the middle of it right now.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And I'm literally right under the flight path. I could step out with a slingshot and bounce one off planes. It's the whole place shakes when it goes by.
I bet.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would be if you have a few minutes of a platform to put out whatever it is you could put out for information, what would it be you'd put out?
Sarah?
I don't know if I understand the question.
Well, in terms of if I want to give out some information, I mean, we do you know, obviously the Kambo education. You know, we assist people in ceremonies, private groups. We also organize ayahuasca retreats for a shaman that's 20 years experience. And then we also, you know, deepen our health by taking care of ourselves with bioactive peptides as well. And so Sarah is a consultant with that. So if people want to heal some physical things
On the podcast. Oh, sorry.
if people want to heal some physical things, I'd highly suggest looking into peptides, which is also what we're in business in.
Interesting.
And that's what Kambo is actually. Like the medicine in Kambo is naturally occurring bioactive peptides.
That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. So is that information on Healing Spirits Combo as well?
No, we're building a separate website for that. Yeah, we'll probably at some point in time integrate it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a separate website, and it's something that I just right now have been spreading on social media, just sharing my own health wellness journey to vitality business or experience, and just people are reaching out, and so we're suppliers in that realm as well.
Wow. Very cool.
And you work out of, you're in BC right now, but you work out of Saskatchewan, correct?
We work all over. When I started Healing Spirits Kambo, I was living in Saskatchewan. But we do ceremonies in Calgary, Edmonton, Regina, Saskatoon, Kelowna, other places in Alberta. Yeah, we're kind of all over the place.
Oh, good. Okay, so people could reach out and then just kind of find when you're, depending on where they are, when you're coming through, etc. Or do you set things up so that if somebody, say in Kamloops, wanted to have you come out, if they organize for 4 or 5 people to come out to a ceremony?
Absolutely. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're definitely open to traveling. We like traveling. Like going into different communities and meeting people and working with them and assisting them in growing, and they assist us in growing as well. You sit across from people and they're like mirrors all the time. It's amazing.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to sit in service. I see a question forming, Steve. I can tell by the way you're smiling.
I think he's got another plane.
It was a really loud plane going over. I was like, oh boy, I got the button on that one. I should just, if I'm going to end up being on the phone for it, I should just be moving somewhere quieter instead of.
Yeah. You're mobile.
Look at that. That's growth, Steve. There's a lesson. The lesson just came up right now. Look at that. You just grew.
It's that mute, unmute, mute, unmute. It's got to be as annoying for everybody else as it is for me.
Well, no, we don't have to hear it, so it's all good.
Yeah, you're doing really good with the muting, man.
Yeah, awesome, cool. So, geez, when are you guys going to be in the Vancouver area?
Good question.
Good question. We haven't even really thought about that yet. But if you want to put a group together, brother, we gladly come down there. I'd like to go down to Vancouver, plus the island as well. We'll be probably serving some Kambo on the Sunshine Coast in August at a private retreat. But yeah, so that'll be our first time out that way doing that area. Yeah.
That's amazing. You're gonna love the Sunshine Coast.
Oh yeah, we were there on New Year's for a ceremony. Yeah.
Love it over there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The energy is it's almost like the Amazon jungle. Like it's just wow.
One of the ladies that I've sat with for Kambo, Magdalena, she was over on the Sunshine Coast, so she was over in Gibson's, and she's recently moved up past Powell River. So there's actually 2 more ferries and another 5-hour drive to get to her. And she's quite literally, I mean, like it makes you feel like you're in the jungle. She almost is, really.
Oh yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. It's getting close to that time, though.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. It was good connecting.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's nice to sit and chat with you, Chris. I'm really excited for this course that you're putting on.
Mhm.
I have been the last couple of months searching. I want to learn to sit with Kambo, not to sit with Kambo. I've experienced it. I'm actually abstaining from 5 right now to go sit with it again. But I want to learn the art of serving it. I see it as an extremely powerful medicine in the vision I have for what I want to do here on the East Coast. And it's the medicine that's missing from my vision. And I've had a large calling for probably about 6 months to learn it. So.
Well, Kambo and 5-MeO go really well. And I know I'm going to use the word together, but you're obviously not using them together. But 5-MeO following Kambo, as you know, you've done this. It's next level. So, if you want to chat further about that stuff, just reach out to me through Messenger. And
I definitely will when I get back from my trip, and as I'm planning my drive out west. I'm curious about your online course. Maybe not for the one that's coming up, but maybe for the next one, and chatting further beyond that.
Reach out anytime.
We'll chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else, Steve?
No, I'm just wondering if they got any last things they want to say to anybody before we say the goodbyes and run the ads, and hopefully you'll stick around for a couple minutes after we close down.
For sure, yeah.
Just thank you guys for the time and the connection today, and the interest in what we do. It's an honor to be able to show up and serve the medicine that we do, and share it with more people. So thank you for aligning with our goals of spreading the medicine and educate people about it.
Well, thank you for doing what you do, because it's needed out in society right now. The healing is needed. Healing is a good thing. People walking the healing path, leading the healing path, pointing it out, and sharing the healing path is all a beautiful thing in this time that we're in, for sure.
I agree.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the Mushie Moment podcast. We'll be back with you next Tuesday with more mushy love and mushy moments. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Good day, everybody.
Bye.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area.
Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.